Hello everyone, how's it going? Can you believe it's November? It's just crazy. I forgot, there's something else I wanted to start with, but I know what it was. Does anybody like my new set? Well, not really a set, but to see what's new? Hopefully you can see what's new. What's new is this, MRP. What does MRP stand for? I'll tell you. It stands for Military Relocation Professional, otherwise known as yours truly. So, hi everybody, thanks for joining. It's 12:30, and that means that you and I have an appointment. We're live, you know what that means. It's time to discuss it with Drake, and that would be me. And I forgot what I was going to say. Anyways, if you do miss a live broadcast in the future, please feel free just to go to YouTube and type in Drake's Real Estate TV, hit subscribe, and then you'll be all set. I can't believe we're on episode 33 already. Where does the time go? The topic for today happens to be, if you're planning on renting instead of buying, there's 10 realities that you really need to be aware of, okay? And if you want to discuss this further one-on-one with me, please just give me a call, and I'll be happy to explain some of these. But, of course, we all know that house shopping in the coronavirus era has been a high-intensity exercise, and homes are selling super fast. And I think I've had one this year that wasn't a multiple offer. And clients who are turning to renting as a temporary solution might need to be aware of today's realities. Okay, so we're going to discuss a few of those. People are on the move in record numbers across the country, and with the buying craze in full swing, along with little to no inventory in many places, many actually turn to renting, at least temporarily, until they find what they want. But it might also allow them to actually, try out an area to see if they want to settle down before committing to a purchase in that area. So renting is typically underestimated, and many times it's thought of as the path of least resistance. If nothing else, I can always rent. So I've heard this often. Many buyers say, only to be sticker shocked and frustrated when the available choices are underwhelming and cost way more than they actually wanted to spend. So there's a lot of misconceptions out there. So today we're going to talk about 10 important things you need to know. Number one, it's pricey, okay? It's going to be more expensive than you thought to rent, okay? Rents have gone only one way, and that is up, okay? So they've risen in just about every area across the country the last few years. And many suburban and second home and resort markets are actually experiencing a huge increase in demand that's also driving up rental prices. So in many cases, it's actually less expensive to buy the same property than to pay monthly rent. And that's actually happened to a couple of my clients. So did you hear that? It's cheaper sometimes to buy than it is to rent. Number two, move-in ready. Well, not so much, okay? Do not expect turnkey. As a former client of mine once said, when he wanted to turn his home into a rental and he was moving away for a couple years, it's a rental, he scoffed. When I gave him some of the recommended repairs and improvements, I suggested that he make the home more livable and certainly more rentable from a marketability standpoint. But it's just a rental. So remember, different mentality. And many rentals out there are actually full of Band-Aid fixes when they're really in need of new flooring, new paint, appliances, bathrooms, kitchen remodeling, some substantial updates, not to mention sometimes structural fixes. So just be prepared. Prepare yourself for outdated kitchens and bathrooms and all that stuff. And carpet, okay? There are always landlords who are trying to defy the useful life of a home's components until they literally break down. Okay, same goes with the roof. So repairs and replacements escalate, and oftentimes landlords don't have the money to spend on them or simply don't want to spend money needed. Yet, somehow they still expect the tenants, you, to pay top dollar for living there. Again, it's the whole supply and demand thing, and we're out of whack here. So number three, planning ahead. So renting a property actually may not be as easy as people think, and not everything you see online is actually really available, just like in the purchase sector, okay? This is especially true with consumer websites that people are using. They're marked as available, but when in fact it was rented out several weeks ago. This happens all the time. And when it comes to MLS listings, as an agent, I'm always trying to double check the availability before arranging a showing, and that's because applications and offers may have been submitted already, and the owners just might be in the process of evaluating them or waiting on deposits, etc., etc. There's a lot that can go on. Number 4, access denied. Okay, well, why was this? Well, showing rentals is typically much more difficult than a property that's listed for sale, especially if it's occupied by tenants. Okay, hi Lori. Tenants rule the roost. It's true, and are usually not flexible at showings. Trust me, I've gone through this all the time. And they may require 24 to 48 hours notice, and in some cases, they just do not comply with the showing request. Hi Isabel, how are you? How is it in Corona? Is your house getting crowded? You got one more, huh? Anyways, I digress, as I always do. So many rentals are actually listed near the end of the lease term, which means that the tenants are often packing. The place is likely full of boxes and may not show well, which of course could potentially turn off a prospective tenant. This is why most rentals tend to be listed once the tenant has vacated and after all the cleaning and repairs, if any, and the prep work is done. Okay, number 5, multiple applications. If you thought multiple offers were challenging when it comes to buying a home, well, be prepared for multiple rental applications per property. Just like homes for sale, the rentals are, the ones that are in the best locations and the most turnkey and have a yard, a view, parking, and so on are going to go super fast. You need to have your proverbial ducks in a row and be prepared to fill out a complete application and supply all requested information, all right? In addition to rental applications, sometimes you're going to need to supply a copy of your driver's license for photo ID, agree to a credit, sometimes even criminal background check, and provide sometimes 2 to 3 months proof of income or bank statements. So there's a lot going on there. And if you're self-employed or working as an independent contractor, I was wondering if that was ever going to happen. Someone called right in the middle of my broadcast. Don't they know better? Anyways, so depending on the specific market location that you're in, there may be an application fee per applicant, as well as a fee for running a credit report. Okay, each landlord and property management company is going to be different. Number 6, don't forget about Fido and Fluffy, or in my case, Savannah. Okay, no matter what kind of pet you have, and have happily lived with over the years, what you don't think is an issue might be a big deal to a landlord. So don't assume that every landlord is going to accept pets, and if they do, there are often several restrictions on what they're going to agree to accept. So large dogs, cats, anything that falls out of the normal scope of a household animal may simply not be allowed, okay? So your little pot-bellied pig that roams around that needs acres and acres might not be permitted in the rental house, okay? Same goes for those snakes and iguanas and stuff. So as renters, you are not in control of these decisions, and the landlord will often require a significant pet deposit just for bringing in that furry or scaled friend. So some landlords are allergic to certain creatures, and some simply don't want the wear and tear caused by animals on their property. So everyone says their animals are well behaved, but unfortunately, many landlords end up spending far more than the pet deposit to restore a property to rentable condition after their tenants and their pets have moved out. Okay, timing. Trying to time a move can sometimes be a nightmare, especially when you've got one tenant that's not cooperating. So it can be a challenge. And you may have to wait for another tenant to move out, or for the landlord to take care of cleaning, repairs, painting. Just anticipate delays and try to be as flexible as you possibly can. This will bring your stress level way down. So your desired moving date may not be accommodated that way. So prepare for the idea that you're going to need to extend your current living situation just to allow for more time, okay? Then there's the appliances. Well, every market's different, and not all rentals come with a refrigerator and washer and dryer. I don't know about you, but I hated going to laundromats back in the day, and not a good thing. So you need to know it's customary in your marketplace and plan accordingly. Especially if you're selling your home with me, then I'll prep for this. Number 9, who are you going to call? A couple days ago, I would have said Ghostbusters, but most people don't think twice about this when submitting an application for rent. However, it's important to understand that the property is managed by an owner or a property manager. You should know who that you'll be paying rent to and who to contact when something on the property needs attention. And tenants also should know, if it's a local, is the local owner local, or are they out of the area? And response times, sometimes they can be delayed, right? And number 10, last but not least, there's the lease. A lease is a contract, just like a real estate purchase agreement to buy or sell property. So however, people who often rent, they get amnesia when it comes to signing a lease, and they think they can get out of it whenever they want, right? Read the fine print, people. Leases typically spell out the ramifications of breaking them, and you just don't get out of them for free, okay? This typically is preventing you from being able to sublease to someone else unless you've negotiated that elsewise. So, yeah, so there's a lot going on, and yeah, but the big picture is, if you're thinking about doing this instead of purchasing, just have a conversation with me, and maybe I can talk you out of it, because there are definitely better options. So that's all I have for you today. I want to thank Realty Times for providing that information today. I hope you found it informational. Please feel free to share. As always, if you'd like a copy for today, please just give me a holler and I'll shoot you off a copy. If there's a topic that you would like me to discuss, just shoot it over and I'll add that to the calendar. And please don't keep me a secret. Share this with everyone you know, because I'm always trying to come from contribution. So once again, thanks for watching. Be kind to one another. Please be kind to one another. Don't forget to live, laugh, and love. And until next week, when the next move matters, contact, you guessed it, Drake for Homes. All right, you guys. See you later. Get out and vote.